Hey guys, welcome to the Live Younger Longer podcast. My name is Jason Harris. And again, this whole community, this whole podcast is built around helping people get the most life out of every year of their life, whether that's financially, relationally, spiritually, and of course, in your health and nutrition. And today I wanted to come to you because I was reading in Ecclesiastes earlier, and, it reminded me where it says that, that which has been is what will be. That has which done is what will be done. And there's no new thing under the sun. Is there anything which has been said, this is new? Has it already been in ancient times before us? There is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be any remembrance of things that are yet to come or with those after. And when it comes to, health, longevity, business, your spirituality, all these things, it made me think like there's no new thing under the sun. There's no new magic pill. There's no new magic secret to success, to being able to live the best life, the best version of yourself. I'm down here in the Emerald Coast of Florida, and my wife and I were walking this morning, and you start looking around, and sometimes it saddens me, honestly, when I see people that are much younger than myself. I'm 50 years old, and they they can barely walk up and down the beach. They're are the most they can do is kind of lounge in a chair because they don't have the health, the mobility to be able to do things. And when you really think about why people are in these situations, I know there's outliers, but for a lot of people, it boils down to choices. It just boils down to choices that of small little things that we're doing on a daily basis. My podcast before this, the episode before this, I talked about the compound effect, how the compound effect can work in the positive and in the negative, right? Like what it can get to a point where small incremental changes, say in our food, if we decide to just have a small deficit of caloric intake daily, how that compounds to where it makes real lasting results. My youngest son, who is 19, he's into weightlifting. He's bigger than I am, honestly. Like this dude's a freaking horse. And he was up to about 202 pounds, and a really solid 202 pounds. And he decided, I think at the time he was consuming about 3,500 calories a day, maybe close to 4,000. And he was like, oh, I want to kind of go on a cut and just see what my body looks like. And so all he did was cut down from, between 35 and 3,500 and 4,000 calories down to about 2,700 calories. And within a couple months, he's down to about 180. So he lost 20 pounds in 2 months, which is interesting. Little side note, because I see commercials for GLP-1s constantly. And one I saw the other day was Serena Williams. I believe it's Serena. Is there Serena or Venus? Whatever one's promoting the GLP-1. And it was showing like average weight loss. And if you really look at some of those, like it is a few pounds over a long period of time. Like it's they're averaging say 2 to 4 pounds a month. Because if you really look at the time frame of when they lost the 30 or 40 pounds, it is several months. And here my son was able to do it by simply reducing his caloric intake. And the kid still eats. I mean, I see him all the time eating hamburgers or whatever. He still eats. He's just conscious of what he's putting in his body. And within about 2 months, he was literally down 20 pounds. It was 2 to 3 months. Naturally, still eating good, just making small choices every day that he was not going to pass his limit that he set for himself. He had a standard, he had a limit he set for himself, and that's what he was able to do. So, we don't have to look for the next magic pill, the next magic shot, the next fad diet to get these things. There is no new thing under the sun. At the end of the day, sometimes it's simply as calories in, calories out. Knowing what your body is burning naturally, how many calories it's burning just kind of sitting around, and eating a little bit less than that. So you're not in that overage, you're under it. So your body is consuming more. And so as we get into this and really think about it, so many times people think that people are just lucky. They're genetically gifted. And there are some, like I have friends that it seems like they can eat anything they want and never have to worry about anything, right? They just stay lean and trim. And I have other people that I know that they really have to struggle with it. They have to watch it. Or my youngest son, his girlfriend is type 1 diabetic. She's at 17 years old. And for years, like for her, for a type 1 diabetic, like food is literally medicine. You have to be diligent on what you're putting in your body so that you keep your body in a normal range. And so, no matter what you may be facing, or if you have something, you have to really think, am I making the smart choices? I remember having a friend of mine who was type 2 diabetic, and I was joking with him one day when I used to work at AT&T. And I said, man, Don, I can get you off of this. I, I, I can heal you through food where you're not type 2 diabetic anymore. You don't have to worry about taking shots. And he literally looked at me. He's like, well, if I want a bowl of ice cream, I'll just take a shot. I'm like, Don, that's not a way to live, man. Like that, it shouldn't be, I'm going to do whatever and just, just pop a shot to make my body normal again. It should get to a point where you don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. In type 2 diabetes, I mean, honestly, it's a diet based disease. And why is it so prevalent here in America is because there's so many people that are living off junk food and fat and fast food, processed foods. They're not putting just whole foods in their body, and they're not supplementing. I talk a lot about supplementations, and I always have a link in the description for some of the supplements that I'm on. I'm a product of the product. I've been taking a lot of these products for over 10 years. I know they work. I can measure through absorption through our device we have now that's available to the public called Prism. I can show, I know what it's doing. And again, at 50, I'm in far better shape. And I'll share a picture here of the difference between me in my 50s and me in my 20s. It's night and day. I started making small choices. Why? Because honestly, I went on vacation with my wife. I saw a picture of myself and I was like, Dadgum, is that my gut? I didn't realize, like, it was just kind of blaring to me in that picture, like, man, I'm kind of letting myself go a little bit. And I'm young. I shouldn't be living this way because, again, I want to live a young, healthy life. I want to be going into my 70s, 80s, 90s where I'm still on the beach with my wife. I was still able to go on walks and go on hikes and just be mobile. I want longevity in my life. And that's what I'm hoping to bring value to here. But, people talk about lucky. And I was reading this the other day in the book, The Compound Effect. And it talked about the complete formula for being lucky. And I want to break it down. So it talks about where preparation, basically your personal growth, plus attitude, your belief and mindset, plus opportunity, a good thing coming your way, plus action, doing something about it equals luck. So let's talk about that. Preparation, the mindset part of it, the personal growth piece of it. You have to be willing to know that no matter where you are, where you start, you're not stuck. You can get to a point where you're living the kind of life you want, whether that's in your finances, your spiritual walk, your marriage, your health. It's all a choice. You have to be wanting to grow constantly. Your brain is a muscle. Like I look at it like a muscle. I want to work it. I want to grow it. I want to expand it. I'm constantly looking at stuff for in the health industry and the supplement industry of what out there can help me. And so, like, again, I've been taking the same supplements for a long time. And I know they have good effects as far as keeping inflammation down in my body, keeping my antioxidant levels high, just giving my body the building blocks it needs to rebuild, to repair itself, and to function like it should. But I also know there's other things out there. So a couple months back in January, I was doing a deadlift and I tore my lat right here. Like there's literally about a 2-inch gap right there. This muscle here should be up here. And I was like, I wanted to do everything I could to repair my body and to heal quickly so I could stay mobile and get back to my training. I do CrossFit workouts or some type of weightlifting workout almost every day. I wanted to get back to that. I did not want an injury to set me back. Again, preparation. It starts with mindset. I've been doing some of this stuff for so long. My brain immediately goes to, it's not what I can't do, it's what I can do. I knew there were certain exercises I couldn't do. I couldn't do pull-ups. I couldn't do deadlifts. I couldn't do bent over rows. I couldn't do certain movements that required me to pull with my lat. What could I do? I could do my push-ups. I do push-ups every day. It's a mindset. I do at least 50, if not 100 every day. I try to do 2 sets of 100 every day. What does that take? It takes about 2 minutes. It takes about a minute to do my first 50, a minute to do my second. Do I not have 2 minutes a day to do something every day? That's the preparation part. That's the mindset, that personal growth part of wanting to grow. I also got on a peptide treatment because I know that there are certain peptides that help your body recover faster. It worked. Within about 2.5 months, I was starting to do all of those exercises again. But again, the preparation part, you have to have that preparation piece of it that really goes into, to me, the preparation and attitude, right? The personal growth and the belief and mindset are really one, in my opinion, because when you get to a point to where you don't let the setbacks in life stop you and get you down, you have to get to a point where mentally, okay, this happened, this sucked, but there's nothing I can do about it. When my back ripped, there was nothing I can do about it. It happened. I knew I just had to heal. I knew my body had to recover. I didn't, excuse me, I didn't have to go through surgery. I didn't have to go through any of that. I knew I could recover. So again, my brain immediately went to, what are the exercises I can do? I can still do cardio exercises. Again, I can still do a lot of stuff that incorporate my legs, my abs, and my core, and my shoulders, my arms, and my chest. And so I know I still did not, I never missed a day without doing something, without working out, even though I had an injury. When I had my knee injury, it was the same way. I'd have a microfracture surgery on my knee, and I was non-weight bearing for a month. Now, a lot of people will sit around and say, well, I'm not weight bearing. I can't really do anything. I knew my whole upper body was not injured. I remember one time, just to get some little bit of cardio in there, I got on a rowing machine. I put a skateboard next to it, and I just plopped my leg on the skateboard and kept that one leg stabilized. And I did a rowing workout. There's always options. Too many people, though, have the belief and mindset that when there are setbacks, that it's something permanent or detrimental that they can't overcome. And so having being wanting and willing, you have to be a willing participant with yourself to personally grow all the time. And then that translates into the belief and mindset. It's not what I can't do, it's what can I do. It's the same in your finances. Maybe you want a new car. You really need a new car. You're driving some freaking hoopty that's 20 years old that barely gets around and leaks more oil than it does, keep it in its engine. And maybe you're at a point where your finances are tight. So if you say, I can't afford a new car, your subconscious brain, your belief, your mindset immediately says, you're right, you can't. But if you start saying, how can I? Now all of a sudden doors start opening up. Your subconscious brain is working to solve that problem. How can I do that? And sometimes, again, it's making small choices that compound. Okay, what can I do? I can start putting $25 a week back to start saving and having a car allowance, right? $50 a week, $100 a week, something. Now, what might that cost you? Maybe your Starbucks. All right. Most people have no idea the compound effect of how much money that they're wasting, $5, $10, $15 at a time. I joke with people all the time when I recommend supplements, and I'll be the first to tell you, our supplements are not the cheapest, and I'm proud of that. They work. I am unashamed at the price of our supplements, because you will get results from them. But some people will look at it, say it's a $150 product. Okay, well, if you look at $150 a month, that's $5 a day. And most people are like, they look at the 150 and they're like, I can't afford that. But they don't realize they're probably spending more than that in fast food or their Starbucks purchases every day or every month, because they're getting to this point to where they don't think about the $5, $10 purchases that they're doing all the time. And that's why typically they're broke, because you're not tracking your money. You don't know where your money's going, right? You continue to do it. So belief and mindset are really the first two pieces of how to be lucky, right? How to get lucky, how to succeed. But to me, they're really there. And then of course you add on opportunity. Now, when it comes to our health and fitness, everyone has an opportunity. I don't care if you don't have a gym. I don't care if you don't have any equipment. There's nothing stopping you. My wife does 50 squats a day. She gets in her bedroom, does 50 squats a day. Anybody can do body weight movements. Anybody can go for a walk. There is nothing stopping you when it comes to your fitness. We all have opportunities to make our bodies better, to where they're functioning like they're supposed to, like God created us to do. Right? When it comes to business, there's more opportunity in today's world than ever. I can't stand this pessimistic attitude that people have currently in this country about how the American dream is dead and there's no opportunity. To me, there is more opportunity than ever right now to create wealth. Even the owner of NVIDIA in an interview not too long ago was talking about how the next round of millionaires will be made in the trades: plumbers, electricians, AC technicians, mechanics, things like that. There are a lot of jobs that AI won't be able to do. Right? I think AI will be able to help a technician, whether it comes to your HVAC unit or your plumbing or something like that. There are ways it's going to help it, but it's not going to go out and do that work, right? It's not going to wire a building for you. Like, there are so many things that the next round. Now, sadly, for 20, 30 years, people they look down on the trades like it was some garbage job, or, it was less than if you did it. I'll be the first to tell you, when I was looking to create wealth, I didn't wait for an opportunity to come to me. I created an opportunity. I started cutting grass. I wanted extra money. I found a way to earn extra money. I just started cutting grass. And literally, I had a push mower, a weed eater, and a blower. That's all I had. But I started getting the word out. I got a few clients. I started to grow. And honestly, over the years, I don't know how much, well more than $1 million I've made just cutting grass. And it's because I didn't wait for an opportunity. I didn't wait for somebody else to come. I looked for an opportunity. I took advantage of it. When I got involved with our network marketing company that I've been with for 16 years, again, I recognized an opportunity to create freedom in my life. I found a way to create long-term residual money in my life. That's what I was looking to do. And again, it was an opportunity presented. I almost laughed it off. And again, I would have laughed off an opportunity that I've made well over $1 million with our company. I could have laughed it off. I almost laughed it off because I had the same attitude as probably a lot of people. I've been there, done that. It didn't work for me. That never works. Those companies are all scams. Like, I've heard every reason and excuse out there about the networking industry. Now, in my view, there has been not a greater form of capitalism available to the average person to create wealth than in the network marketing industry, because you don't need education. You don't need a degree. You don't need certain skill sets. You don't need capital to start a business. You don't need a credit line to start. You don't need anything. You have to have a willingness to recognize an opportunity. And then again, the belief and mindset and personal growth to learn a new skill set. That's all that business is. I knew I could learn a new skill set because there have been thousands of people with my company before me that was successful. And I knew if that many people could do it, I could do it. Again, recognizing opportunities in your life, whether it's an opportunity to get better health, an opportunity to grow in your spiritual walk, an opportunity to strengthen your marriage, an opportunity to change your finances. There's opportunity everywhere. You just have to find it. And then when you get down after opportunity, again, a good thing coming your way, and then it goes down to action. Again, I got approached with our company and I almost laughed it off. I could have sat there and did nothing, but I took action during COVID. When the shutdown first happened, especially some of our younger team members, they thought since no one was working that our business would crater and there would be no opportunity. I saw it as an opportunity in two ways. I saw it as an opportunity to serve a lot of people. Why? Because people started thinking differently about their health. We were already direct to consumer. We do our own supply chain here in the US. So none of our products were on a boat off the coast of California because we're shipping everything from China. We do our own manufacturing and distributing. So I was able to recognize an opportunity that I could serve people. I could help them with their health and help them get healthy. But also there was a lot of people that were deemed non-essential that I was able to go. And I knew there was people that needed still to make money from home. There was a massive opportunity. Now, during that year, our income went up 6 figures during 2020. During the shutdown, our income went up 6 figures. Now, we had people on our team that didn't happen. They didn't do anything, or they quit during that same time. Same opportunity was presented to everybody. Some people saw it and took action. Some people didn't, right? So taking action is the vital key to it. It's just like learning to ride a bike or learning to swim. You could read books about it your entire life, still not know how to ride a bike, still not know how to swim, because you never did the action. You never got in there and did it. That's what really creates the luck. That's where people, when they say, oh, you were so lucky. No, I recognized opportunity and I took action in it. people talk about my health sometimes. They don't realize the years that I have sown into it, doing small things every day to be in the kind of shape and I'm in my 50s. And I'm not saying this to brag about things, but I've noticed over the last couple trips here in Florida and not too long ago when we were in Vegas, I had multiple people stopping me, asking me like, hey, man, how old are you? I said, I'm 50. They're like, no way. They're like, dude, man, like, what are you doing? Unsolicited people coming up to me asking me what I'm doing. And again, there's no secret. There's no new thing. There's nothing new under the sun. It's simple practices, simple habits that you create. And when you look at the book, The Greatest Salesman of the World, that's the first scroll. Habits. You will be a slave to habits, whether good habits or bad habits. You will be a slave to your habits. And the only way to replace a bad habit is with a good habit. Just create new habits in your life. I don't have to think about working out every day because it's just a habit. I don't have to think about so much my food anymore because it's just a habit. So many things like having gratitude and not taking my wife for granted. I went through a period in my life where I know I did that. Same with my relationship with God. I know I took those relationships for granted. I had to make a conscious choice to flip that around. And now, I mean, there are times I just look at her, I'm like, man, I'm so grateful I have my wife. Or if I'm doing housework, I'm so grateful that I have a house to do it and a wife to serve, to help. We're partners. Like in our house, there are so many times where if she cooks a meal, I'll clean the dishes. I'm grateful I have a wife that is willing to cook for me. So why wouldn't I get off my lazy butt and do the dishes? Now, I'll tell you something, husbands, there's been studies that show that women think like watching their man do dishes is sexy. I'm just saying, little tip. But I've read that several places. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I try to use it in my house. But you have to get to this point where you have to flip that script a little bit and recognize the opportunities and take action. That's how you're going to achieve anything in your life. So again, I do personalized one-on-one coaching. I hope this community is of value to you. Please share the message, share it. If this is of value to you, share it. Let's help spread the community. Again, I'm passionate about people getting the most life out of every single year they're on this earth. And that's why I want to do it. And again, I share some supplementation recommendations. If there's any questions that you have or any recommendations you need, please reach out, just DM me. I'm more than willing to help and kind of consult with you to help start getting some things so that you start living the life that you're dreaming about. If you know you can't run 100 yards without just being completely exhausted, that's a problem. Like you should be able on a whim to get out and just do what you want to do because you have the health and vitality to be able to do it. And you have the mobility to be able to do it. And that's where my passion is, to help people achieve that kind of life. If you have issues with your marriage, I've been married for over 30 years. I've been through it. I don't know if I consider myself an expert, but I've been through a lot. And I want people to have thriving marriages where they're more in love with their life. They're more in love with their wife every single year. That passion never dies down. You're still chasing after each other like you're teenagers. That's what I want to help. Same with your relationship with the God, with your Lord. I just finished a book on Psalm 23. That's a deep dive. And it's not just really looking from a biblical, but how does it apply to your life? How can you use it? I'm finishing up the editing on it. It should be available soon. I can't wait to get that, because even studying that, I grew in my relationship, understanding the shepherd I have in my life that's going through, no matter what I'm going through, whether it's in the green pastures or the dark valleys, I have this shepherd that's leading me, helping me, guiding me, protecting me, loving me, then exalting me. It's amazing just what that one psalm can teach you. So guys, again, if there's any value, anything I could bring to you, I love your feedback, your support. Please reach out. I'm an open book. I'm very blunt. I will tell you that, but I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to serve you. So I appreciate your time today. I hope this was of value to you. See you on the next episode of Live Younger Longer podcast. Take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye.